गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स। आज एमकॉम फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर का इंडियन फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम सब्जेक्ट में यूनिट 3 जो इंश्योरेंस सर्विसेज से रिलेटेड है उस सर्विसेज के बारे में और ख़ासकर इंडियन फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम में इंश्योरेंस की जो योगदान है इंश्योरेंस सर्विसेज का उसके बारे में आज हम फंडामेंटल कॉन्सेप्ट्स को सीखेंगे। अपने सभी को ये वर्ड जो है इंश्योरेंस बहुत परिचित है। इंश्योरेंस इज नथिंग बट एन एश्योरेंस। एश्योरेंस क्या मतलब होता है कि इंश्योरेंस क्यों आवश्यकता हो गई है उसके बारे में अपन पढ़ेंगे। तो सबसे पहले अपने को फ्यूचर जो भविष्य जो बोलते हैं अपन, एक फ्यूचर के बारे में सभी लोगों को चिंता रहती है। व्हाट विल हैपन टुमारो? टुडे इज अवर्स बट टुमारो इज नॉट अवर्स। सो इन द केस ऑफ द कंसर्न फॉर the future has started establishing some basic questions in the context of a human being's existence in this world. So the future regards to what? The future is uncertain. Future is uncertain because we don't know what will happen after this day. That's why you cannot specify that something will happen in a particular manner tomorrow. Anything can happen at any point of time in the future course of time. Till date, okay. But after that, nobody knows what happens. So, future is uncertain. When there is uncertainty, the concept of risk arises. Uncertainty of what? Uncertainty of risk. If anything happens which is beyond our capacity to tackle that, that will be denoted as a risk. So, uncertainty and risk are the two concern points on the part of the human life. Or you can say the human oriented all walks of activities including personal. So, in order to tackle that future and uncertainty and the risk associated with the uncertainty, we need some assurance. Some assurance. Assurance of what? In the case of risk, as far as the management of the risk and mitigation of the risk to a certain extent, because the main factor which is influenced in the context of uncertainty and risk is of one is financial risk and second is life risk. So basing upon these two things, human beings are very much concerned that there is no financial support and complementarity on the part of the human beings to face the future if something happens as a risk and due to uncertainty in the human life or in the environment. So, based upon the context of managing the risk, you cannot mitigate the risk, but you can manage the risk. There is a connectivity between these two factors, life and financial. So, we have to manage the risk such that the problem of finance or the monetary terms which will affect our life on the context of a risk or a uncertainty in the future course of time. So, based upon that, there should be some assurance in the case of the uncertainty and risk which arises in the future course of time. So how the assurance is provided? Because it is not 100% compatible to supplement the risk arised financially when once there is a uncertainty and which will happen in our life or in our environment. Henceforth, to the major extent, to the extent of possibility, how the uncertainty and risk is faced or managed appropriately with the help of the financial support or the financial aspects. So in this context, the question of assurance has arisen, and somewhat assurance is to be given that in the case of uncertainty and even in the case of the risk, there should be some support financially. And that too, the support is given to whom? Either to the survivor or to the legal heirs of the survivor in the future course of time. So, insurance is nothing but an assurance. Insurance is nothing but an assurance. So, in this context, we will go for the study of the concept of insurance in our syllabus. In India, the insurance is having a deep-rooted history. It finds in the writings of Manusmriti and Kautilya's Arthashastra also. The writings talk about the pooling of resources that could be redistributed in times of calamities such as fire, floods, epidemics and famine, and this was probably a precursor to the modern day insurance concept. In 1818, in the advent of life insurance business in India, with the establishment of the Oriental Life Insurance Company in Calcutta, the company however failed in 1834, and afterwards in 1914 the government of India, means then the British government of India, had started publishing the returns of the insurance companies in India. The Indian Insurance Life Assurance Companies Act 1912 was the first statutory measure to regulate the life insurance business. So, in this context, now we will go for the learning of the context of insurance. Now, what is an insurance? Insurance is nothing but a contract. It is nothing but a contract. As you have studied in business law or the mercantile law, the Indian Contract Act, and where there is at least two parties in the contract, and the contract is nothing but an agreement with a valid consensus as well as supplementing the need of the contract. So, in this, insurance is nothing but a contract. It is a contract of indemnity. It is a contract of indemnity. Indemnity contract. It is called as indemnity contract. So, what is this indemnity contract? So, in this, there are two parties. In the insurance, there are two parties. One is the insurer and the second person is insuree. Means the person who insures is called as insurer, and the party which insured, getting the benefit of insurance, is called as insuree. For example, if I have taken a life insurance policy from LIC of India, then LIC of India is the insurer and myself is called as the insuree. So like that, there will be two parties in the insurance contract, and this insurance contract is an indemnity contract, means the party that pays to compensate for a specified type of loss that occurs for another party. For example, a person X has taken a life insurance policy for 10 lakhs for 20 years. After 10 years, the party has died under an accident or some other cause. So the insurance company will pay the sum assured. Here some terms are there. Sum assured, what we call it as sum assured. Sum assured is nothing but the money or the amount which is being assured by the company on behalf of the insuree and by the insured on a particular date on particular conditions. So the sum assured will be going to be paid on the part of the deceased person or to the legal heirs of the deceased person. So this is the way how insurance is going to protect and provide some protection to the insured as well as the remaining people or the legal heirs or the deceased person's legal heirs in the shape of some amount or a financial support. So in this particular contract, it is an indemnity contract. Indemnity contract in the sense, in the case of future risk, it is being indemnified, it will be assured, it will be paid out. So the party that pays to compensate a specified type of loss that occurs for another party is called as indemnification or indemnifier. Here the insurer is the party who agrees to indemnify, and the insured is called as the party covered or protected. Here the insuree is also called as insured, and the person or the company which provides insurance is called as insurer. Means there are two parties, insurer and the insuree, or the insurer and the insured. Insuree is nothing but insured. Now there is a policy. So what is a policy? Policy is nothing but the written agreement or the contract of the insurance company between these two parties. There is a face value in the policy which is stated. The stated face value is nothing but the maximum amount that could be paid in the case of harm to a person and insured against that particular harm or the occurs. Premium. So in order to be enforced, generally the insurance policy is supposed to be met with renewal periodically. So there is a term which is called as premium. So the insurance premium is going to be calculated at the time of entering into the contract. For example, how the insurance premium is calculated, right? There are some fundamental terms associated with this insurance premium. See, for example, there is a person X who has insured his life for 10 lakh rupees for 20 years. 10 lakh rupees for 20 years. So up to 20 years, the sum assured amount is 10 lakhs. In the case of risk, in the case of any uneventful activity, the sum assured will be provided to the insured if there is a risk. Otherwise, the total amount will be paid at the end of the maturity. So when there is a claim, the claim will be settled and it will be paid to the legal heirs or the nominee of the insuree or the insured person. But in the case of no risk, the amount will be paid along with the interest to the insured person, which is called as a maturity, at the time of maturity. Now how the calculation of the premium is concerned. For example, if X says that I will be going to insure my life for next 20 years for 10 lakh rupees. So how the insurance amount is calculated? 10 lakhs by 20 years. So it will be 50,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees per year. Now the question comes, how the premium will be paid? For example, it will be paid either monthly or half yearly or quarterly or annually. For example, if X says that I will pay the 50,000 rupees annually, means he can pay at one stake every year at the end of that particular date 50,000 rupees. But it is, if he feels that he is having some burden over paying of 50,000 rupees at a stage, then he can ask that I will go for half yearly. Means 25,000 rupees for every 6 months. Even then he feels that 25,000 rupees is also a burden, then it can be said that every quarter I will be going to pay it. Means 6,000 or 7,000 rupees for every quarter. On the instance, for example, if the person says that, no, it is also a burden to me, then the person says that, I will go for a monthly payment of the 50,000 rupees per annum. Means, say, 4,500 rupees per month. Say, like that. So, like that, the total sum assured will be met by the insuree or the insured by paying of the premium. For example, if the premium has not been paid, means the policy or the contract between the insured and the insurer and the insuree will get cancelled. So automatically there is a need of putting live the insurance policy up to the extent of the coverage of the policy term, which is called as policy term. And the risk is nothing but which is quoted in the indemnity contract or the insurance policy at the time of entering into the contract between the insured and the insuree. So now taking that into concern, it is about a life insurance. Apart from that, there are another type of insurance which is called as general insurance, or which is also called as non-life insurance. So generally we have two categories of insurance. One is life insurance and second is the non-life insurance, and the non-life insurance is also called as general insurance. In the case of the general insurance, apart from the human life, the remaining other will be insured. For example, the assets of a human being, all fixed assets of a human being can be insured. The belongings of a person can be insured. The financial loans and advances can be insured. Or the merchandise can be insured. The business unit can be insured in the future course of expecting a risk at any point of time. We know that business is always risky and there is huge uncertainty associated with the conduct of the business, because the business environment is going to be changing and it is very dynamic from time to time. Henceforth, it is also essential for them to insure the business firm or the business unit or the business entity also. So in that case, we cannot go for the life insurance, we can go for the general insurance, which is also called as non-life insurance. In both the cases, whether it is the life insurance or the non-life insurance, there is a need of entering into a contract which is called as indemnity contract. But in the case of the sum assured to be fixed between the life insurance and the non-life insurance, who will be going to declare that? Here, the insuree is supposed to declare that. In the case of a life insurance, how much worth I have, that insuree should have to state how much worth he or his life would be, having an impact on his family and his legal heirs when he was not alive or after some period of time. So that will be decided by the insuree. In the case of the general insurance, the value of the policy or the value of the sum assured is going to be determined by the total value of the assets or the total value of the merchandise or the total value of the business enterprise and the risk associated with that business enterprise. So taking these things into consideration, either the life insurance or the non-life insurance, which is also called as general insurance, will be going to be considered. Now the types of insurance products. As I said that there is life insurance, there is also general insurance. In the case of the life insurance, we have different products. One is the term insurance. Term insurance in the sense, the life insurance is going to be decided on a term. I have given that here as an example, 20 years. That is the time period specified for the contract validity, which is called as term insurance. It may be 1 year, it may be 5 years, it may be 10 years, or it may be 20 years, or sometimes the term is not specified, but still there is a continuity of the insurance. That is what we call it as whole life insurance. In the case of the term insurance, if the policy is matured and or if the policy is claimed, the term without the completion of the term, the policy will be settled. In the case of the maturity, after 20 years, if I am alone, if I am alive or the insurer is alive, the amount will be paid to the insurer. Or else, if the insurer is died before 20 years, the amount will be paid along with the interest, which is called as dividend, to the legal heirs or the nominees of the insurer. But in the case of the whole life policy, the question of nominee is arised, but not the individual insured is arised. So here the entire life of a person up to his death is being covered in the whole life policy, and when once the death of the insured is going to take place, that amount will be paid to the legal heir or the nominee. And the next category is endowment life. Endowment life in the sense which is of a fixed period of time with some outstanding situations like paying the beneficiary about the face value. For example, the money back policy, what we call it as money back policy, it is an endowment policy. For example, a person has made an insurance policy for 20 years, 10 lakh rupees. So the 20 years will be categorized under 5 terms. Means for every 4 years, the amount will be paid into 5 installments. Say 4 installments, 5 installments. Means for every 4 years, the insured is going to get 2 lakh rupees up to the end of the 20 years. 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs, prescribed amount up to the 20 years. When once the total 10 lakhs have been paid in 5 installments of the term of 20 years, the remaining amount, which is called as dividend, will be paid to the insurer or the legal heir or the nominee of the insurer, which is we call it as endowment policy. The best example for it is money back policy. And under the case of the non-life insurance, we have the fire insurance, the calamity insurance, the marine insurance, the social insurance, like that n number of categories of insurance policies or contracts or insurance products are available in the general insurance, which is also called as non-life insurance. Remaining we will study in the next class. Thank you very much.